Alrighty. Anything else to talk about? What do we got?
No, let's go to fighting game news here. So,
FGC.
Announced was Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. I don't think we've actually officially talked about this
No, we
yet.
have not.
They have announced this. It's coming out on January 16th, 2018. It's got spiffy new HUDs, new graphics. There's going to be the arcade mode, crazy costumes. Like, I think that's Rashid in the Beautiful Joe costume there.
Really?
Yeah. Here, let me do this here. Let me see if I can bust this.
I honestly didn't know which character that was. I thought it might have been Chun-Li.
It's the pose.
That's
the
idea.
Rashid pose, if
Is
I'm
it?
not mistaken, right? That's that's the Rashid pose.
Oh, he's not on the internet.
Yeah, that's right. There we go. That's the Rashid
Does
pose.
Rashid do that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the Rashid pose right there. But yeah, they've got the Rashid costume. They've got this newer menu. They even have this bonus stage where you're breaking barrels or something like that, held by what's this guy's name? 2P, I think it is, or something like that, from Final Fight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's one of the Final Fight bad guys and stuff like that. So, a lot of cool things for this game, potentially, here. And then they said there's an arcade mode that's going to celebrate all the different Street Fighter games. So, there's going to be the Alpha path, there's going to be the Third Strike path, there's going to be the Street Fighter 2 path and stuff. And lots of things coming out for this. So, obviously, you know, I want to see what more there is, though, because this is all good and nice and everything like that, but if they don't fix a lot of gameplay issues...
Well, speaking of gameplay issues, there are going to be 2 V-triggers.
Right, that's right. Okay, so every character is going to have 2 V-triggers. Now, the question is, can they do a good enough job to make them both good? Because I don't see why you would ever not pick, like, Balrog original V-trigger or Aegis Reflector, right? Unless they come up with something equally broken... which would be a problem.
Or just nerf the first V-trigger.
Right, or they nerf it. So if they can figure out a way to balance things. So
yeah, new V skill as well.
Characters will have endings in every path. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it could be cool.
I hope there's more. You know, I really hope that there's more than just a second V-trigger.
Well, V-skill also.
Yeah, a second V-skill, because I feel like the game has a lot more issues than that, right? Like, I feel like there needs to be... just more ability to have variety in the game.
I just feel like it's in a strange place. Like, I'm not sure what the niche is of Street Fighter V's gameplay. I think it's a fun game to play, but if I want to play, like, wild, I can lose whenever game, then I would play Marvel. And if I want to play, like, the slow, patient kind of game, that is how a lot of Injustice plays.
Right.
And I'm not really sure, like, what the hook is of Street Fighter V, relatively speaking. I feel like it's like softcore Marvel. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, somebody actually stated early on, like, that's why in Season 1 a lot of Marvel players like Ray Ray were doing well.
Yeah.
Because it does feel a lot like that. It's more about don't be there than it is about defending.
Yeah, it definitely is. The niche Beansy thinks is accessibility and familiarity. I think familiarity is true. I'm not sure accessibility is really it. Maybe that's the intention. I'm not sure, but it doesn't seem like that's how the game has played out.
Right. Because the funny thing is, the way that they designed the game, they're like, let's make it accessible. And then they put the input buffer, and then they put in all this stuff about... It basically turned it into the most frame data important game, one of the most frame data important games ever. And so if you're going to do that and you don't put frame data in the game... Right, like... This is the thing. They tried a lot of things, but they're trying to apply it to existing Street Fighter. I've talked about the input buffer before. I don't like it, right? But like when you play in Tekken, there's an even bigger, gigantic input buffer. Why is it not bad in Tekken? It's because the game is designed around it. Yeah. It's like you have 7,000 moves. So you could throw out a move that you're like... It's like throwing out a move that you don't normally use in Tekken is like jumping in Street Fighter. You catch them off of guard, right? But in Street Fighter... You're only going to block Karen standing medium kick, crouching medium kick, whatever. There's only like 4 moves that you got to be careful of. And by then, because of the input buffer, then the frame data makes it so that everything is a canned response, right? And you're always going to be... If Cammy does towards heavy kick, you're always going to know. And you're always going to be able to say, well, she's -2 now it's my turn. Input buffer guarantees that you're going to win unless she EX uppercuts, right? And so you've basically turned everything into this canned response. There's none of this, like the game is not built for input buffer. You know what I mean? The game is not built for input buffer. If they wanted to do input buffer, people should have more normals. You know what I mean? They should have like more...
I guess I see what you mean, although I don't think that it's true that there are canned responses, because I think the game has gotten to an interesting point where after blocking a move that is -2, people don't just do jab, they do fierce, they do crush counter, because they know that if the jab, somebody wants to grab instead, and somebody wants to do jab, there's like an interesting little game that develops of which option you bring out afterward.
Right.
So I think that there actually is an interesting game there. I just think that it's extremely important to know, as you said, frame data, and you have to know block strings. You have to know exactly like what the common block strings are to deal with stuff.
But see, once you'd establish that, then that mix-up is the same. It's like, okay, then it's like, okay, well, after I block this, I could take advantage of the fact that he knows I'm going to jab, so I can do the slower move, and I can take advantage. But that is already determined. You know what I mean? We already know that mix-up.
Well, that mix-up didn't come in for the first good year of the game, year and a half of the game. It's not like it took a little while to develop. Yeah. But certainly now that it's developed, it's the mix-up.
Right, exactly. And so I just feel like there needs to be more put into the game to add for more chaos, for more... And I know...
That's not what I want.
It's not necessarily what I mean by chaos. I just mean, like, I want more human error. That's all it is. Like, that to me is the hallmark of a good fighting game, is the potential for human error. Because that's what I feel like really separates people.
Okay.
You know?
I mean, I know that's important to you. But I don't care about that, really. Right. But I guess for me, the issue with SF5 is that I just don't see it as having like a distinct enough niche, gameplay niche. I felt like it was like SF4 was. I thought it had quite a few faults, but it was clearly very distinct compared to many of the other games that were out at the time.
Yeah.
Not the same as Marvel, not the same as MK, it's not the same as Injustice, not the same as Tekken, etc. Whereas I feel like SF5 is kind of this like there's some clear Guilty Gear in it. There's like clearly it's like less than Marvel, but kind of Marvel-ish, and it's not the old sort of footsies style that was there. It's got a different kind of footsies, but it's not the old style that was very Street Fighter 4-ish, Street Fighter 3-ish. It's not like that. So I don't need it to be like Street Fighter 3 and so forth. That's totally fine. I just don't think that it has like a real identity.
It doesn't have its own personality, basically, right? It doesn't. There's nothing Street Fighter 5 like.
I think that's.
I agree with that.
Put it succinctly, yeah.
I agree with that a lot, actually. So, but Arcade Edition coming out. Hopefully they do a lot of things. Hopefully it changes a lot of things. I mean, the UI looks a little better, although the Ken face looked the same and his hair was still clipping out of his clavicle. But you know,
you can only ask for so much, right?
Yeah, exactly. So. But we'll see. I'm excited for it, so I'm very hopeful for Season 3. I hope they throw in a couple of loops in there.
Same.
Because, I mean, remember when people realized that Omega Edition was kind of like a beta for Street Fighter 5?
Yeah.
Some people have been going back to Omega Edition and messing around, and that thing was wild! And it's so different than what Street Fighter 5 turned out to be. Like, the original Street Fighter 5 betas felt like it because there was just, like, craziness. Like, there was, like, cool combos, and then it just like went away, and then it went away from that, and so I don't know. I would like to see a little bit more of the.
I saw a clip of somebody who was comparing Omega stuff to some of the release screenshots, and you know the Bison will have a Psycho Crusher, right? And the Omega Psycho Crusher into whatever funky punch follow-up he had, some janky looking stuff.
Right.
That kind of looks like what this picture is now in the SF5 in Season 3.
If they decide to do something like that and go a little bit nuttier like that, I'm all for it. And like I said, and that's the thing is, I don't think that will add to chaos. I think that will make the game a little more less chaotic in a weird way, because right now the game is literally, you know what? I know my view is skewed heavily because I use Cammy, and she is the most boring-ass character in the world, right? So right now the game is knock you down, and there's just this mix-up, and you gotta guess, and you gotta guess. And
that's
like,
video games.
Right.
I'm not worried about that.
Like I said, the guessing is it's too exact. It's too precise. You know what I mean? It's like A beats B beats C beats A. It's not like, there's not enough weight in any direction. You know what I mean? In Super Turbo, it's safer to block when you get up. It just is. Like, if you block when you get up in Super Turbo, there's very little way that the opponent, if they know you're going to block when you get up, can take advantage of that. They can make you block a short and then go for the throw. But blocking when you get up is still going to successfully avoid 90% of the problems that are going to come.
You can't be thrown immediately.
Right,
when you're getting up in Super Turbo.
And that's what's missing. And like in Street Fighter 4, that was backdash, right? Backdash was kind of like that. Hey, this will solve most of the problems. That became a problem in itself. It created OSs and whatever like that. But right now, Street Fighter 5 is too much 1-to-1-to-1. It's like A, B beats B, beats C. So it's literally you have to guess. And I think that's a little chaotic. If you create the game so that the moves are a little more potent, so that you have reason to just do meaty chip, stuff like that, I actually think that will take away a little bit from the chaos. So.
I feel like Street Fighter V's mix-ups are among the weakest in any fighting game. They're not super compelling. It's just like button or not, right? To really boil it down. So it's not like some wild game. Like ST is considerably crazier, but it's very frame data heavy, pressure, and not, as we've said many times, not enough gameplay variety.
Right. Like I know a lot of people have seen the picture of Sagat, and they're like, "Oh my God, Sagat's in it." It's a Street Fighter 1 picture. It's literally a picture of Sagat and this Rune Kit and all the Street Fighter 1. It's just a Street Fighter 1 art, so we don't know anything yet, right? But like, if he is in the game, please be a zoner. Please,
yes.
Please be a tiger zoner, please.
He's not going to be. No, sorry.
Because I know...
I agree, though.
I hate zoning. I hate zoning, but like, I want it. It needs to be there.
I agree.
That's almost kind of like why Manat is so interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because she's kind of zoning a little bit like that, so...
I'm
in any case, more
what's going on
news
now?
about games that are actually out. Let's see here. ARMS version 3.2 is out, so there's a new patch for that, and I'm sure you're all excited for that. So,
go on.
The main addition is the Badge Slash, a special achievement system where players gain badges for completing specific tasks. And then I guess there's a robotic version of Springman designed in the style of Headlock from the single-player Grand Prix mode. So they keep updating the game. They keep adding patches and stuff like that. So,
oh, bless their little hearts.
That's true. Oh, that's right. Do I have that listed here? Oh, I don't have it. But yeah, Jeff in the chat has reminded us that the DLC for Marvel is coming out. Black Panther, Ultron Sigma Ultron, and
just Sigma, right?
It's just Sigma. Yeah, you're right. Just
Pretty
Sigma
sure, yeah.
and Black. No, not Black Widow. It was Monster Hunter.
Correct.
So those three are coming out.
And there was footage of them.
Yes.
At whatever event just
New
happened.
York Comic-Con.
There you go. Did you see any of that?
I did not see any of the footage.
I did. Sigma has a very interesting move where first of all, he's very large, right?
He was in the game.
Yes, indeed. That's right. Yeah, he was in there. So he swings his sword, and when he does so, he leaves a projectile, kind of, I assume projectile, but he leaves a thing on the screen.
Ooh, okay.
And it just hangs out there for a while.
Okay.
So
it's kind of like SF Cross Tekken Jin, maybe? Or Kazuya, whichever one that threw the little fireball that stood on the screen.
Well, I guess kind of, but it's just like something that hangs there in the sky. It's not far away. It's just like where the sword was.
Okay.
Like where the sword swung, he like leaves a thing there.
Okay,
So I don't know. There could be some cool things with that. Black Panther has really good mobility. He has like a couple different wall jumps.
I mean, he definitely looks like the Wolverine function. I mean,
I think he has Rekkas. Is how it looked.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure he's Wolverine really, but he has wall jumps and funky movement. Like Wolverine's movement is like very normal. You know what I mean? Like it's not. If anything, maybe more like X-23. That kind of weird movement. So that's cool. And we've already seen a little bit of Monster Hunter too. She has a big sword. Whatever happens to that.
Yeah, but there was also the artwork that was leaked with Black Widow, but I think we talked about that last week a little bit. So, but also at New York Comic Con was Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. Had a bunch of footage there as well, and it was interesting because they saw the character select screen and it shows like Persona, and there's like maybe 7 slots there. There was like Blaze Blue, and there was like 12 slots in there, and but then the weird one is that under Ruby they have this up, but then there was one that just said extra.
Oh,
there's just this extra row that had nothing in there at the time.
Okay,
but are they gonna like throw in even some crazier characters in there all of a sudden?
Interesting.
So,
What do you want? What do you want?
I mean, if they could put in Guilty Gear, if they can actually, I don't know if they have the rights to it, but if they could put in Guilty Gear characters, that would be awesome. Like, just take the old sprites from Guilty Gear and put them back in the game. You know what I mean? But I mean, if they did that, why wouldn't it say Guilty Gear, right? But you know, who knows what they have in there? So
that's true. I've just been thinking about like modern Guilty Gear, but they could just use like XX
accent core sprites.
Yeah.
But that's in there. Did you see any of the footage of the game?
I did.
Like
I heard it. I heard a lot of it.
Ruby is loud.
She was a talkative character.
Yes, she is. She's definitely
she's chatting up a storm.
She's definitely very jam-like.
Yeah, it's not. That's not unusual for that game developer.
Yeah,
right. That's you ever play BlazBlue? Their characters are having conversations the entire time.
Right.
So it was just a particularly obnoxious voice. But,
yeah.
Oh well.
But yeah, no, I'm excited. I mean, the game looks cool. So I didn't get a chance to see much of it, but I'm really curious to see how it's going to develop. See what's going to happen with that game. So, all right. This is the community stuff that I have here. There was footage of Dragon Ball Fighters, and now all of a sudden at the bottom there's a new UI element of like little Dragon Balls down there.
Oh, what?
And you can actually collect Dragon Balls.
Really?
So let me just do this here.
Is this GURD? What is this?
The GURD. Okay, yeah. The grid system. Yeah. I'm not sure, but apparently, like, there's something cool that happens if you collect all 7 Dragon Balls, and so like they're down here, but they haven't revealed what this does yet. So
that's not 7, is it? Am I just not able to see them here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah,
oh,
there's a 7th one there. Yeah, that's
no,
just really black in there. So
you're right.
So interesting. I'm not sure how this is going to work. Not sure what's going to happen with that, but kind of excited to see what's going to happen.
Little tug of war GURD.
I don't know, because it looks like but I don't know. See, that's the weird thing is, like, if you collect it, shouldn't there be 2 of them, like one for each player, or
maybe the ball is just more on the left player's side right now, you know?
Yeah, I know, right? It like shifts over there.
I have no idea what it is.
It'd be really interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it does. But
cool.
It'd be interesting to find out what happens.
Already extremely interesting game, and obviously looking forward to that.
All right. Some community stuff.
Okay.
Matt Dahlgren, who has been at Capcom for almost a decade now, is leaving.
Wow.
You didn't know? You didn't hear about this?
I didn't know he was there for a decade. Jeez.
Yeah.
No. How about that?
Yeah, he's actually taking off, leaves the division after nearly a decade. It's been like maybe 9 years. He says he's worked on games like Lost Planet 2, Resident Evil Darkside Chronicles, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Ultimate Marvel Captain 3, Ultra Street Fighter 2, Final Challenger, Street Fighter 5, and Resident Evil 5, and all stuff like that. So he's been there for a very, very long time.
How about that? Does he say what he's going to do?
Doesn't say where he's going to go at this point in time. So
wow.
Curious to see what he's got up for him. But
well,
I mean, like, that's...
Good luck to him over at League of Fighters. Congrats to Riot for retire.
I know, right? But I mean, it's kind of concerning, right? Because we had Nidell leave, and now Matt Dahlgren's left, you know. So I'm wondering what that entails at this point in time. So we'll see what happens. For Tekken 7, one of the crucial videos that I used very early on was That Blasted Salami is a guy who makes videos, Tekken videos, and he made one that was like, here's all the characters, how hard they are to use, and how they generally kind of play.
Okay,
so
cool.
Pick one that fits to your style. He just recently kicked off a new series of videos here called Tekken 7 Essentials, where he goes through characters one by one. So the first episode is out. It is Dragunov, where he talks about Dragunov, so definitely check that out. I'm pretty sure his YouTube is That Blasted Salami. Just look up That Blasted Salami, and you should be able to find that on YouTube pretty easily.
Very cool. I will definitely check that out.
I definitely need to watch these because I'm still getting... Like, I'm just happy right now that I feel like when I'm losing in Tekken, it is more now that my movement sucks and that I don't know the enemy character, as opposed to I don't know what to do, I'm panicking.
Gotcha.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like because I played against a Heihachi who was destroying me at first, and I was actually able to adapt to him. Like after a while, like I was like, whoa, I can actually like adjust to fight him a little bit better.
That's cool, man. Congrats.
So a lot of the problems that I have in the game are definitely my own fault. Like I said, my movement is garbage.
Okay.
And I just need to know the character. So it's cool. Dude,
That's
I know almost all of King's moves now, to be honest with you. He has the most, like, out of everything.
Does he really? Okay.
Like, you go those moves, like, I went through Fang, right? Because he's, like, the second character I might want to learn. His move list is, like, 100 moves, right? And you go to King, it's, like, 340-something. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. It's because there's so many, like, multi-throws that there's, like, these, they can branch to here, they can do this, and then there's, like...
What?
Dude, seriously, his move list. And you know what?
God.
They didn't even list all of the moves in there.
Really?
There's some moves that aren't listed in there that, like, some other people had to tell me about afterwards. I was like, what? There's more?
That's wild.
Yeah, exactly. So.
All right.
But definitely check that out. Also, community stuff here. Cien talked to Channel News Asia about the struggles of becoming a professional gamer. Always like watching these. Like, I haven't had a chance to watch this yet, but I'm just bringing this up so people can take a look at this.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
But yeah, he talks to. Let me see here. Yeah, he talks about his drive to become a top player, involved walking away from jobs, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So definitely check that out. Cien, another one of just those cool people in the community that I just think he's
good guy.
Yeah. But yes, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Punko, who did say that he was going to disappear from the FGC, wasn't even sure if he could play at all in 2018, showed up at Taiwan Fighters and is going to be at Canada Cup.
Nice.
So he will be showing up there. So,
I'll give him a high five.
So he says, I was not able to enter rest of CPTs this year, but luckily I can now, and I'm going to CPT at Taiwan this week, and will be joining CPT Canada as well. I was in a difficult situation, but there were people who helped me out. Thanks to them, I am very grateful to be able to join the remaining competitions. I will do my best for the remaining competitions, he says on Twitter.
Well, very cool. I'm happy to have him, of course.
Yes. And then finally, I just want to bring this up because this is super cool to me for obvious reasons, but Connecticut's is doing like a bunch of Femme Fatale series. They had a jury statue a while ago. But they've added this Cammy statue that's coming out, and it's a really nice looking Cammy statue. What I like about it is that it's an action pose. I like the action pose of this, so I'm super happy about that because
she's like breaking the ground, maybe.
Yeah, she's like dive kicking the floor or something like that. Okay. But it's a cool looking statue.
I agree.
I like it. So and obviously I can never have enough Cammy statues because Cammy statues everywhere. So
well, that's cool.
So really cool looking statue there. But
that's all you got?
That's all I have for news. Yep.
It is true. I've read the same that Bonchan has kidney stones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that is tough. I haven't had it myself, but I've had a few friends at this point who have had it, and from all accounts, it is horrible.
And it is. I've heard it's just painful.
Yeah, I've heard it's just terrible. So, best of luck to him with that. That's it's quite a trial to go through.
Yeah. Jeff in the chat asks what I think of the Nintendo World Championships. Did you actually watch any of that?
I watched not a bit.
I watched parts of it. They brought out some super old games that I completely forgot existed, but were kind of cool.
Really?
Like on the old GBA Color, there was this versus Super Mario Brothers game where you both ran on the level at the same time. You'd like try to fight each other, and you had those blocks that would like turn off and on, and you could hit blocks and turn. So you try to drop people in pits. And stuff like that.
I like it.
But one section was the Tetris section. And like I am not the kind of person. Okay, look, I am not the kind of person that wants to use those words like triggered like lightly because I think it's stupid. But like Bifu was the one who was showing me the video because like he just turned his laptop and it was showing me, and I sat there and watched it, and we're sitting there watching it, and I was just like, why would just like, dude, like oh my god, like I could feel the rage, like
I believe it.
Oh my god, I was so mad. I was so mad because I have never seen anything like how do you get into a Nintendo World Championships? That must mean you play video games. How does anybody get in there and have that little Tetris experience?
Was it that bad?
Like, literally sometimes...
Like, you're a very good player.
Like,
but...
sometimes it looked like people were thinking that the way to play Tetris was to build as tall of a structure as possible with as large as holes as possible. Like, literally, these guys were the worst Tetris players I've ever seen. Honestly, like, I have not seen some things that were that bad in my entire life. I was... And you know what? Okay, I understand. It was Game Boy version. There's no sliding in the pieces. They stick really fast and they touch down. But no, they were all on playing on level 0. They were playing on... Oh, God.
Are you going to make me watch this?
No, I'm not going to make you watch it, but I'll just pull out a picture that someone sent me at one point in time. They were like, what are you talking about, James? Like, what's wrong with this? And it's just like the picture, just like, I just wanted to die. And
were they children?
I don't know. They were not. They were not at all. Oh, God. I just want to see if I can find this. I'm doing this the wrong way, dude. I'm scrolling back. I should look for my tweet where I talked about how much it was pissing me off. And then I can actually find them. Oh, God. Why am I doing it this hard way? Anyway, is there anything else you want to talk about? Is there anything else you want to talk about while I look for this picture?
Well, I don't think so.
Damn it, David! Because this is...
I'm going to Minneapolis this weekend.
Oh, cool. What for?
A wedding.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay.
Not mine.
Family wedding?
Friend.
Nice. Okay, okay.
So, basically, showing up there for like a total of barely a day and a half.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, it's like one of those things. Flying in for the minimum possible period of time. I don't have any more pies. I'll probably have more pies soon. No, it's not that. Was it that?
That was it right there. What happened to it? Where did that picture go?
It died. It reloaded.
Are you kidding me?
Anyway, it was very bad.
Why would you do this to me?
I saw the picture of the Game Boy Tetris, and it was really bad. So, take my word for it, I guess.
Right, here we go.
It was gnarly looking.
Where's the link? The link is supposed to be like where you can...
Mortal Kombat had its 25th anniversary. I guess there was a party. I didn't go, and I don't know what happened.
Oh, yeah. Where was that, actually?
I know nothing about it.
Okay.
Also, it's completely an accident that I'm wearing a Mortal Kombat t-shirt today. It was at the top of my clean clothes pile.
How?
Yeah, that's confusing, I gotta say.
How?
I don't know.
Like, how do you...
What do we got? Level...
0?
0.
Level 0.
Level
He hasn't done
0.
a line yet. His scores
There
are...
haven't been any lines. It's bad. There's no sugarcoating.
Like,
I don't understand.
how does this even happen as a human being? Like,
No, I'm not sure. You would have to have very little knowledge of video games, I think, for that to happen. I think you probably are not a very good player of the video game.
That was not Photoshop. That was
the real stuff.
That was like you could find it on YouTube. Just go look up the Nintendo World Championship.
Like they weren't children.
Go find the Tetris section, dude, and just go watch this.
Like there was some other stipulation. Like
I don't know.
They had to play with oven mitts on.
I'm not sure. I'm scared to go back and check because if I find out that there wasn't a stipulation, I'm just gonna be angry. Like I was watching and I was like. People should be, and I was like, "Why? How? Like, dude, like,
I believe that.
I couldn't, like, I can't even fake the amount of upset rage that I felt, like, legit at the time when he showed that to me. Like, I literally, like, went up, I, like, started yelling, and I looked at people, I'm like, sorry, I literally had to, like, stop myself because I was getting so upset in any case.
Well, that sucks. So I didn't watch any of that event. What was the shtick? It was just like the World Championships? How did those people get into the World Championships?
I'm not sure, so...
I saw some things about it on Twitter, and I thought to myself, I'm not going to care about this, so... I'm not going
But actually, Kugi did all the graphics, Tenno streamed it all, and everything like that. So,
really?
Yeah, they were the ones who handled it, because they were so happy with Kugi's work. that he did for Splatoon 2 at E3.
Sick.
They hired him back again, so he did all the graphics for there.
Man.
Slash, Slash was there, and Spans, all the Tenno guys were there doing the broadcast with all that stuff. So
very cool.
Shout outs to all those guys. So FGC making waves.
Definitely. Speaking of Tenno, I'm sorry to hear about what's going on up in Northern California. There are fires up in the wine country.
Right.
And that, in particular, obviously affects many people. The entire neighborhoods have been destroyed. It's crazy looking. It looks bombed out rather than just a fire. But Hanzo Gonzo lives in that area. And, and while he was flying home, I guess from that event, I didn't know what it was from. He didn't know whether his house would survive. And it has. His apartment's okay. I guess his dad's is as well. But many other people's have been destroyed. Like, very close to where he lives. It just was very lucky that his was fine. So I'm sorry to hear about that. That's
because some of the neighborhoods
scary times
have even looked like they've been destroyed. They haven't even been caught on fire. It's just that the ashes and the smoke and everything like that has rained down so badly.
He did mention that there were baseball-sized chunks of ash coming down. I've never seen that. I mean, there are fires in California every single year. I've never seen ash that bad.
It's happening in SoCal, like down in the Anaheim area.
Anaheim has a big fire. That's true. We had. It's terrible to say, but there are the most beautiful sunsets during fire season. Right? They're amazing looking, but they're scary because you know what they are. So I was in my apartment and started to get down to sunset, and there's a very particular eerie orange
hue.
It's a weird glow, and I could see it through the window coming in, and I hadn't even heard that there were fires. And that's you know it when you see a sunset like that. So that happens in California just about every year now, and I'm sorry to hear that it's happening again. Good luck to everybody.
Yeah, every year there's always this fire situation. So, whew.
Yeah, that happened. I guess that's about it. I don't think I have much else.
Yeah, I think I don't have really much else to talk about at this point in time. So.
I'm gonna learn a Hulk team. I think he's underrated in Marvel.
I want to learn a Hulk team too. Yeah,
okay.
I want to learn a Hulk team too.
I think he's I was trying to think about how I would classify him. I don't feel like he's a point in the traditional sense. That is to say, like, I don't want him doing most of the mix-ups. I want him, setting up the other guy. But it's not like traditional assists either. It's not like he does, he's like the beam tag, somebody else.
Right,
It's not like that either. It's like he's the one playing out, and then I want him to do something, he's close, and then he tags. I don't know what to call that.
Right.
I don't know. So I feel like I'm going to call that an offensive defenseman in hockey, who he's like traditionally defensive, but can sometimes come up and he shoots the puck in, and then he hopes that somebody else gets a rebound, and then they score. I don't know. But I feel like with his extra mobility, he has great horizontal jumps. He has the wall jump. He has the slower wave that's really good for people to advance behind. He has the charge into, does he go up or does he tag or what?
You saw after he goes up, he can still do something on the way down.
Yes,
right?
He can still attack.
So, he's safe after that. So if you charge and they block, you just go up in the air and you can still do something on the way down. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I think he's underrated.
Yeah, I just want one change to him.
Okay.
I want Gamma Tsunami to be slightly faster because I have this awesome combo where I wall bounce you to the other side, and then I do Gamma Tsunami, and it has the entire stage to drag you with damage. So, I can do, this tiny combo and still get 6,500 just from the super.
Okay.
But you have to get it at exactly the right height, because if they're too high on it, they bounce, and they start falling out, and then they hit the ground, and it doesn't hit them anymore. So it's just too slow. If they can speed it up a little bit, then it'll just carry them across the screen, and I would be super happy. So.
All right. Yeah, I don't know who I'm going to play him with, but I think he's an interesting character.
Dude,
and I'm learning Arthur, too, because I think he's good.
Yeah, I want to learn Hawkeye as well. He was a character that I wanted to learn in Marvel 3, but...
I feel like you could learn that guy in a minute.
I feel like he's way better now. I feel like he's so much better.
Some people, I have seen people say that they think he's terrible. I don't know. He seems pretty good to me, but I feel like he's a easy and interesting character.
So powerful in this game.
Yeah, I agree.
Literally, if you have Gimlet, the enemy can't Reality Stone. Right? You see, Reality Gimlet, they're dead.
I call that noodles. Forward roundhouse. Noodles.
Oh, is that how you blow up Reality?
Bam. Armor
Nice.
right on through. Bam!
Okay.
Alright, anyway.
Alright, that's
That's
all.
about it. Thanks a lot for joining us. Thanks a lot to Mike Watson for coming out and talking about the Super Arcade. That was
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely.
Haven't seen that guy in a little while.
Yeah.
You wanna bird him?
Oh, that's right. Got
Wanna
a
bird out?
Got a bird 'em. Got a bird, everybody.
The old noodles. Jump noodles, ground noodles. I got all the kinds of noodles. So
I'm a big fan of
here's a fun
noodles,
thing.
dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Nobody has been able to beat this so far, and I haven't officially tested it. But at every round start, I do stand jab with Nemesis. Nobody's beaten it yet. So I don't have frame data for him either. So I don't know. But his jab.
Oh, Tool Assisted does have frame data for the game now.
But not for everybody.
Oh,
it's a work
okay,
in progress.
Okay.
So his stand jab has armor. All of his buttons have armor. His armor seems like it is fast enough to beat all the lights, right? And the jab itself seems to hit fast enough to beat all the fierces. Nobody's beaten me yet. So I basically start out every single round with stand jab. I just do jab. That's it.
You've seen the anti-tag technology with the jabs and stuff like that, right?
No.
Yipes pointed this out to me, that Rocket Raccoon and Spider-Man are the only ones with 4-frame standing light punches. Tag attack is 5 frames. So if you ever see a tag, you can jab them before they can hit you.
Okay.
Or before they can recover.
Okay.
And then I found out you don't even need to time it. As soon as you see the flash, just hold jab and it works.
Sick.
And so what everybody found out then is you can hold forward and heavy punch and you will throw them every single time.
Interesting.
You can. So basically raw tag. So all the raw tag shenanigans where someone super jumps over you and raw tags, not a real thing. You can at least throw them every time, and I think that's going to make the game better. Because I think that mix-up was kind of silly. But now you're not going to be able to get away with it. And now you have to be smart tagging. So I like that.
You want to know something else, Dub?
What's that?
When I was playing Tubaware earlier, I did stand jab enough at the start of rounds that I got just raw command grab at the start of one of the rounds. Oh, what a dingus. Alright, that's all I got for you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I felt powerful. Noodly.
Noodly
and powerful.
You felt noodly powerful. We're all going to have to play the first stage of oh no, it was one of the later stages. Parappa the Rappa 2 is all about noodles. In any case, thanks guys. Peace out.